Hey guys, it's OP Rob here. Welcome back to my channel. Guys, it's been a very long time since I uploaded any manga content on this channel. I used to do that quite a lot of theory videos and predictions for One Piece, but took a long break from that. But anyway, I'm back now with a review of One Piece chapter 1010, and what a chapter this was. So, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so this chapter was titled Color of the Supreme King, which was an obvious foreshadowing of what was to come in this chapter. Now in the beginning of the chapter, we see that Big Mom is still falling from the rooftop into the ocean, and Zeus is unable to help her since he's trapped in Kid's electromagnetic barricade enclosure thing. I don't really know what to call it. But anyway, Zeus can't seem to get out of it. Zoro keeps chopping up Prometheus. At the same time, Law seems to be incredibly surprised at the fact that Zoro is still able to stand after absorbing that combo attack from both Big Mom and Kaido. And I think personally this just shows the incredible resilience and durability that Zoro has always had and always shown in the series. If we go back to I think it was Thriller Bark arc, where he was still the last man standing and he still was able to take Luffy's pain. And boy, did he do that in a remarkable way. But anyway, at this point, Kaido calls Big Mom pathetic for being bamboozled by the Alliance and claims that he must do everything by himself. But I think, we as One Piece fans have surely at this point, we've come to understand that Big Mom is a little bit of a special character and she simply has a childlike persona about her. But moving on, Kaido tells Zoro to let Prometheus go and proceeds to attack both Law and Zoro. Law launches an ejection shock attack on Kaido called Antibacterial Curtain, which is one of my favorite attacks from Law. Which the injection shot is one of my favorite attacks from Law. And crazy thing is, I actually have some ideas about Law and Kaido, and just Law in general, that I think I need to bring out a video about what I think, in regards to this whole fight. I do believe, if I can go directly into that for a short period, I actually believe that surely Law's attacks should internally be having an effect on Kaido. Or is it a case of maybe does Law require Conquerors Haki to be able to have it, his devil fruit do that to them? But it's something that I think we need to really look into it. But anyway, Kaido says that Law's attacks keep throwing him off, so props to Law for that. Now Prometheus escapes carrying Napoleon along with him. This is what I didn't realize at the first time, that he was carrying Napoleon the sword on top of him, Prometheus. But while Zoro is protesting to the rest of the Alliance that they can't let Prometheus save Big Mom, but Law insists that they have to let it go and stick together, as there isn't any point of them dying, as these guys are basically the only hope of beating Kaido. So one of them dying now would be a big blow for the Alliance, and I believe that Law is right in this case. Kid agrees that the plan was to separate both of them and leaves with Killer to deal with Big Mom. But at this point, Prometheus has already saved Big Mom. Now Big Mom says that what does Zeus think he's doing? He's useless, which actually gives Prometheus the opportunity to whisper some venom into Big Mom's ear, saying, "That's what I keep telling you, mama. He's a dunce and he's a dope and he's always holding us back." Anyway, mama, can I ask you for something? And I believe that Prometheus knows how to play Big Mom, because she's one of those people that, if you please her and you give, you get Big Mom in the right mood, you can get a favor out of her. But immediately after that, we see that Kid and Killer are on the edge of the cliff, and the clouds start changing, which I think could signify a lot of things. I think if Big Mom is creating another Zeus, then surely she would need a soul to put into it, wouldn't she? Or am I going crazy when I think about that? Or can she just release souls within herself to create a homie just like that? I'm not quite sure at the moment how it works, but we'll see more of that, I'm sure, if that is what she's doing. Now we skip to the beginning of the craziest hype in Wano, where Kaido talks about Luffy staring at him even when he's knocked out, which shows the power of Luffy's Conquerors Haki, and Kid, to be fair, as well. Now, wouldn't it be crazy, guys? You just check this out, guys. Wouldn't it be crazy if Conquerors Haki is a spirit, or like a spirit of its own, where it can still protect you even if you are unconscious. Just think about that for a second. I think that deserves a Fury video, and I think we need to look more into that. Because if you look at what's really been going on, is it possible that Kaido could even have killed Luffy? Is it possible that if Kaido really and truly tried to kill Luffy, that Luffy's Conquerors Haki or Kid's Conquerors Haki would have stopped Kaido from killing them? Is that a possibility? I'm just throwing that out there, but we'll see. Anyway, Kaido says, "What should I crush first, those eyes or his brain or his heart?" But at this point, when Zoro tells Law that, you know, he's about to launch an attack, and if he can't break through, then it's all on Law, and he stops Kaido in his tracks and says, "Hey Kaido, that's my captain." Guys, I already knew what time it was once Zoro said that's my captain. When Zoro says something like that, expect something crazy to happen. And that is exactly what happened. Guys, if you look at Kaido's expression in that panel when Zoro was about to unleash that attack, he knew what time it was. And for Zoro, man guys, when he releases the Demon Aura 9 sword style Ashura Dead Man's Game. Now guys, I screamed literally when I saw this attack by Zoro, sorry. I literally started clapping when I saw it. Kaido was definitely cut and bleeding, and you can see Law's expression. That tells you everything you need to know. When Zoro unleashes this attack, it was just absolutely spectacular. I clapped. I can't believe it. I was clapping when I saw that. It's crazy. And the crazy thing is that Zoro was still standing after this attack. And you can see the scar that is left on Kaido's chest. I mean, Zoro just had a monstrous power. Honestly, his power is just incredible. And to top it off, it turns out that Zoro has Conqueror's Haki after all. As Kaido notices that Zoro used it unconsciously without even knowing he had it, because his response to Kaido was, "What are you talking about? I don't have any idea what you mean." This is the same reaction Luffy had when he first used it in Marineford. I mean, we already know that Luffy's first time of using it was in Hancock's territory. You know, I can't remember where it's called, Lily something, wherever Hancock is from. But the first time, you know, everyone else sort of, you know, the main characters kind of see it is in Marineford. And when he used it, he didn't even know he had used it. Anyway, Zoro falls and tells Kaido that he thought that, you know, that attack would be enough. And Kaido actually gives him some props and tells him that the wound he has carved will remain with him, before Kaido unleashes the Thunder Bagua on both Law and Zoro. But we see that they're both still alive. Now, the next part of the chapter is the craziest and the most hype of Wano so far. I say so far because I expect our expectations to be exceeded again in Wano, no doubt. Because the stuff that's going to happen after. Because personally, I feel like Kid is going to have his moments as well. Law will have his moment. And I think Zoro will have his moment again. And Sanji. And just so many characters to have their moments. Momonosuke, everybody. There's just so many. And I think Luffy surpassed us again in our expectations of him. And I think this is just the beginning. But anyway, Kaido actually starts mouthing on about how if they had joined him, they would have conquered the world. But, you know, he then hears Luffy's voice where Luffy says, "With you? We would never go with you, idiot. We love the samurai." And guys, I love this because Luffy's actually sticking to the task. He knows why they're here, and he knows what is at stake. You know, it's not just about beating him. He knows what is at stake for the people of Wano. And he remembers his allies. So, Luffy starts remembering what Old Man Heel said to him during his training with Reveiw. And the crazy thing I have always said since the start of the fight on the rooftop, right, is that Luffy, for me, I don't think Luffy had used Reveiw on Kaido yet. I mean, I personally believe that he was using his regular abilities, but I think his armament Haki had actually improved because of his training in Udon. But because if you look back at the old panels, you know when we're fighting Kaido and such on the rooftop in the beginning, you see that he wasn't really hurting Kaido. Yes, they were getting hits on him, but he wasn't hurting them in the way he wanted to. But I think his armament Haki had improved, so he was still able to get decent hits into them. But he wasn't hurting him in the way he wanted to, because I always knew that with Reveiw, you don't actually touch the opponent. You know, that was the key thing about Reveiw, because Luffy, when Luffy was learning it, you know, he kept on punching them, and he didn't want to hit them with, you know, physically. He wanted to hit them without hitting them, if that makes sense. Luffy even said that he wanted to hurt Big Mom and Kaido from the inside out, and Hio told him Master Hio, Old Man Hio, told him to let his haki flow. And I think I think I do need to make a separate video to explain this further, Reveiw and haki together. Anyway, finally Luffy actually connects the dots and is now able to allow his haki to flow, but not just his regular haki. He uses his Conquerors haki to flow into his outer body and tells Kaido that this is the case, isn't it? He's basically saying to Kaido that, listen, this is what you're doing, isn't it? This is what's happening, right? You're basically allowing your Conquerors haki to flow outside your body. This is why I can't hurt you, isn't it? But Kaido says only a handful of the very strongest can. Now, guys, listen to what Kaido said here. Only a handful of the very strongest, not the strongest, the very strongest can infuse things with King's haki. Do you realize how insane that is to hear? Because surely that means that only the elite can do it, right? We talk about the elite swordsmen, the elite pirates, in terms of, physical fighters, devil fruit fighters, and this is what Kaido is saying, and Luffy obviously can do it. Anyway, Kaido tries to hit Luffy with his club, but Luffy doesn't even dodge it. He doesn't even dodge it. He doesn't need to. At this point, he's figured out what's going on. He actually blocks it with Reveiw and Conquerors haki. Guys, remember that Reveiw is more of a technique of releasing your haki. This is the thing. It's more of a technique. Reveiw is not necessarily a haki, in my opinion. I think Reveiw is a technique, and that is what Luffy is doing here, and also what YB and Roger were doing during their fight. Anyway, Luffy blocks the attack and punches Kaido without touching him, and Kaido actually falls. And we see Law saying that Luffy wasn't even touching Kaido. And at this point, Luffy actually gets excited and says Law and Zoro should go down and leave everything to him. To be fair, honestly, I don't really think that they're going to leave. I think on the side, Law will probably heal Zoro, or maybe Hiyori or something. Someone might help, but I don't think they should go down, because I think I still kind of want Zoro to be the someone that reopens Kaido's wounds. But anyway, he tells them to leave everything to him. Man, what a moment this was. Honestly, you have to clap for that chapter. It was absolutely amazing. But anyway, guys, absolute 10 out of 10. The chapter is called 10-10, and the chapter is a 10-10. Anyway, I'm gonna bring out more videos this week. I want to about Reveiw and haki and Conquerors haki as well, and also my prediction for next chapter. So I'll bring out maybe 2 or 3 videos this week, because I want to make a prediction before next Friday, in the next couple of days. But yes, please guys, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. No doubt, you already know what it is.